Live streaming is on.
Okay, so we're gonna start, please, with the class. Please, Jonathan, can you read the text?
Thank you.
Can you read, Jonathan, the text?
Yes, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon moves between to the air and the sun, casting a shadow that partially or completely blocks sunlight. In a total solar eclipse, the moon fully obscures the sun, briefly turning day into thin light and exposing the sun's corona and far outer layer of plasma, usually hidden by sun glare. Ancient civilizations interpreted eclipses in vastly different ways. Chi- Chinese astronomers recorded them and omens tied to political or natural
Solar eclipse occurs.
upheavals, while Greek thinkers like Thales approached them through early scientific reasoning, laying the groundwork for astronomical study. Today, eclipses are critical for solar research. Their brief visibility of the corona during total eclipses allow scientists to study its structure, temperature, and magnetic activity. Insights that are difficult to obtain otherwise because of the sun's brightness. Eclipses come in the three main types: total, partial, and annular. Their appearance depends on the distance and alignment of the Earth and Moon and Sun. For instance, an annular eclipse occurs when the Moon is too far off the Earth to fully cover the Sun, leaving the ring of fire. Each eclipse is shaped by the moon's elliptical orbit and speed, making every event a unique opportunity for observation and discovery. Yeah.
Okay, great. So in this case, is there any question maybe from anybody regarding the reading? Okay, if there is no questions, so we're gonna answer the poll. This is question number one. Please answer. I'm gonna give you a few minutes. Okay, so yes, the answer here would be uh, events. Oh, sorry. The answer here is disorder. Okay, so let's see why. Okay, so in this case, let me see. Ancient civilizations interpreted eclipses in vastly different ways. Okay, Chinese astronomers recorded them as omens tied to political or natural upheavals. Okay, yes, so in this case, upheavals, if you see the meaning here of upheavals, uh, well, upheaval means a violent or sudden change or disruption to something. Okay, so the meaning of upheaval is disruption. It is not event. Okay, so that's why the answer here is C, disorder. Okay, the meaning of upheavals is disruption or a sudden change to something, a violent change to something. Okay, so that's the meaning of upheavals. It's a difficult word, to be honest with you. Okay, but that's the meaning right there. Okay, so most of you, all of you said B, so that's not B. Let's do this one, number 2. Okay, so I have different things right here. I'm gonna give you a few more minutes. I have some people that say C, others say D. Okay, so the answer here would be, in this case, it is C. Okay, why? Because if you see in the text, it says Greek thinkers like Thales approached them through early scientific reasoning, laying the groundwork for astronomical study. So that sentence is important because the last one, laying the ground for an astronomical study, here basically explains how Greek philosophers thought about eclipses. Okay, so that's why it is C. Why is it not D? Because the idea, they believe that eclipses predicted significant events. This idea is connected to predictions and applies to Chinese interpretation, not the Greek scientific approach. Okay, so that's why this is C. Okay, we're gonna work on 3. Please answer 3. Okay, so I have 2 people that say A and 4 people that say B. Which one would it be? Okay. The fact that they're not usually visible, that's the answer right there. If you see there, it says the brief visibility of the corona during total eclipses allows scientists to study structure, temperature, and magnetic activity, insights that are difficult to obtain otherwise because of the sun's brightness. Otherwise because of the sun's brightness. So that explains that why studying the corona is usually difficult. So that's the answer. The fact that it is usually not visible. Okay, we're gonna do question 4. That's right. It is C. Everybody agrees with that. That's the answer. We're going to do question 5. I'm going to give you 1 more minute to think. Okay, so all of you said C. Okay, so let's read. Eclipses come in 3 main types: total, partial, and annular. Their appearance depends on the distances and alignments of the Earth, Moon, and Sun. For instance, an annular eclipse occurs when the Moon is too far from the Earth to fully cover the Sun, leaving a ring fire. Each eclipse is shaped by the Moon's elliptical orbit and speed, making every event a unique opportunity for observation and discovery. Okay, so here they're talking about these variations. So the sentence is all about variations and how those variations made it harder for early astronomers to predict eclipses, right? So what we need to do basically is to find a place in the passage where you have those variations, where it makes sense to add a sentence about the result of those differences, right? So we need to find that. So in the third paragraph here, it explains how they come in different types and they depend on the Earth, Moon, and Sun, right? But it also says each eclipse is shaped by the moon's elliptical orbit and speed, making every event a unique opportunity for observation and discovery. So, that last sentence summarizes the idea that these eclipses can vary because of the moon's orbit and speed, right? So, depending on the moon's orbit and speed, the eclipses can vary. So that's why, because you are still talking about variations, you're still talking about variations. The answer is D, okay? Because you're still talking about variations here. In C, yes, you have talked about variations, right? You have talked about variations like depending on the earth, the moon, and sun, right? But you're still talking about variations. But in this case, variations that are shaped by the moon's elliptical orbit and speed. So those are still variations. Okay, so that's why you need to put this sentence in D, not in C, in D, because you're still talking about variations. Okay, so why is it not C? It is tempting to choose C because the paragraph is already talking about eclipse types, right? But placing this sentence at C would break really the flow. You need to basically try to think about the flow of the sentence, right? Would break the flow because between the example and the summary, right? So you have an example here of annular eclipse, right? That's an example. And the summary that is at the very end, right? So the sentence works better after the summary, not in the middle of the example to summary transition, right? So you have there, again, you have there an example of the annular eclipse, and you have also the summary, that is this part. Each eclipse is shaped by the moon's elliptical. So instead of breaking the flow here, you need to put it at the very end after the summary. Okay, so that's why D is the answer. It is not C. Okay, so we're gonna do the last one. Task 5, Industrial Revolution and its impact. Okay, please, Iris Nunez, in this case, Pensi Rios, could you please read the text?
Sure. Okay. Industrial Revolution and its impact. The Industrial Revolution started in the late 18th century, transformed economies and societies. It marked the shift from agrarian to industrial economies, mainly in Europe and North America. This period saw the rise of factories, mechanized production, and technologies like the steam engine. This development increased production and efficiency, but also brought dramatic social change. One significant impact of the Industrial Revolution involved urbanization. As factories emerged, people moved from rural areas to cities for work. This migration led to overcrowded cities, poor living conditions, and slums. However, despite this challenge, cities become centers of economic activity and innovations. Working conditions in factories were often harsh. Workers, including children, faced long hours, low wages, and unsafe environments. This exploitation of workers prompted the rise of labor unions, which fought for better wage, safer conditions, and reasonable hours, leading the labor reforms that involved improved workers' lives. The Industrial Revolution also impacts the environment. The increased use of coal and fossil tunnels led to pollution and environment degradation. It sparked innovation in transportation, with railways and steamship facilitating movement over rail. It set the stage for the modern industrial world, with consequences still felt today.
Okay, is there any question maybe? Okay, no questions. So we're going to work on this. This is going to be question 6.
Teacher, one question.
This is question number 6.
Teacher, you listen to me?
Yes, I can listen to you.
I have one question about one word. What is the meaning of steamships?
Okay, can you repeat the question?
What is the meaning of steamships? It's in the last line, in the last paragraph, sorry. It starts wide railways and steamships facilitating movement.
This one, steamship.
Yes.
Okay, so a steamship is well, it would be a vessel. All right, it would be that it is or a ship that moves by steam power. Okay, it is a ship that moves by steam power. That's a steamship. It is a ship. Okay. So if there's no other question, please answer. Okay, great. So basically it's here, right? As factories emerge, people move from rural areas to cities for work, to find work in factories. Okay, sorry. Okay. All of the following were mentioned. Number 7. I have different answers right here, okay? I have different answers. I have people that say B, people that say A, people that say, let's say C. Well, let's see. Employing children in factories. In the third paragraph, it says what? It says workers, including children, right? Face long hours, low wages. So that's not the answer. A is not the answer. Let's see C. Somebody said C. Low pay rates. In paragraph 3, it says workers. Well, faced long hours, low wages. So that's why the answer is D. It is not A, it is not B. It is not A, it is not C, it is B. Okay, let's continue. This is question number 8. Letter B. That's right. We're going to do question number 9. Okay, led to, that's right. The answer is led to. This is number 10. Okay, so in this case, well, the text would be: in textile mills, workers had to operate large, fast moving machinery, which led to frequent injuries and even fatalities. That comes better at D, as all of you said. Okay, so great job. So now we're going to work with the listening part. Okay, so, well, we're supposed to start tomorrow, this part, but, well, I don't think we're going to have enough time today, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm going to leave these 5 to 7 minutes that we have remaining for you to ask any question if you want to. Okay, so let Alvaro, do you have any question?
Yes, I have a question. Thank you very much for attending.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, my question is where can I find materials for practice for free? There are one place you suggest for us, or just Tumagus is a good option because I try, but I need to pay for to use this website.
Yes, Magush is something that you need to pay for. Well, since the TOEFL is new, we still don't have much material, to be honest with you. So what I would suggest you to do is to find maybe online. I'm gonna search. But since it's very new, they are creating this material as we speak. All the websites and so on and so forth, right? So this is not even. This is because it is very new. The material that we are seeing here still it is in the beta mode, right? So it's not even 100% arcane. Okay, so that's why there's not plenty of material right now because it is new, right? But I'm gonna try to find something, and if I find something, I'll send it to you. But because it is very new, there are not a lot of options right now. Okay, but if in this class, during these 6 weeks, we're gonna see all the material that is needed from all these from the reading, from the listening. So please don't miss any classes. You're gonna have some material to practice with. Okay.
Teacher,
Any other question?
one question about the material. All this week we'll review reading, or we're gonna start something else like speaking or listening.
We're gonna do listening. We're gonna do speaking. We're gonna do all the parts. Don't worry about it.
Okay, like back the schedule is this week we're supposed to start speaking, right?
No, listening. This week is listening.
Okay.
Reading, listening, and then
2 weeks of speaking, right?
in 2 weeks, no, next week we're gonna start speaking. But this week
Okay.
is gonna be listening. We're gonna have 3 classes on listening. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 3 classes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today, fellas. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.